Hello, Craig. So, all right, story time. I don't have major stories, but I do have stories. So, my this depending on when this becomes Franken content, this past weekend was Memorial Day weekend here in the good old U.S. of A.
Woo!
And Memorial Day weekend typically involves uh barbecuing, sometimes fireworks, depending on where you're at. Lots of stores closed. It's a bank holiday, so like lots of stuff is not open. Monday, which is actually Memorial Day, like Monday was Memorial Day, and lots of stuff also closes the Friday before. Like it's a long weekend for a lot of places. So, um, my parents, bless their hearts, my dad is like right there on the line between Boomer and Gen X, like very end of Boomer, very beginning of Gen X. And like you look at one of those charts that like talks about the years, and depending on which chart you look at or which publication, you know, he's like right there at the tail end or the beginning of one or the other. So that's where he's at. My mom is a couple years younger.
Yeah, but where does he actually lean, right?
Oh yes, super Boomer. My mom is a couple years younger, putting her squarely at the beginning of Gen X timeline, but also she has like hardcore Boomer mentality. But regardless, like my dad does not do technology well. Anything past TV and Facebook, he really struggles
As long
with.
as it's some Fox News.
Yeah, and these newfangled automobiles for, I don't know, the last 30 years have become more and more computer dependent. And say what you will about them, there's pros and cons to that. As someone who is a bit of an amateur mechanic, sometimes I get really frustrated that I can't like work on my car like I used to could, but increases efficiency, adds lots of safety features and redundancies by having things be computer controlled. And you get a lot more access to certain modern features, and it you need to have a couple pieces of technology to access them, like a little code reader. But pros and cons is what it is. My dad bought my mom a truck, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago now. I mean, it's a very nice truck. It's like a 2020 or a 2021 model truck, and it has been having some problems recently that are definitely like computer related. And my dad doesn't know how to work on it because it's computer related, and has gotten more and more frustrated with it over the last few days. And there are some, I don't understand. There are some things that he will go to YouTube to look up how to do stuff on. And there are other things where he just refuses. Like, I know how to do it. I've been doing this my whole life, and some kid on YouTube is not going to tell me how to do this thing. So he had like given up, and it had gotten into he had put it in some kind of like safety override, like lockout mode or something like that. Just like a security feature on the vehicle when it thinks there's a problem to prevent people from driving it,
Uh-oh.
And so he calls me and he's like, I don't know what to do. You're good with the technology. Like, please come see if you can fix my truck. And I'm like, or fix your mom's truck. I'm like, okay, I'll come out there and look at it, because I've got one of the little computer readout tools. I forget what they're called. Like, there's the plug has a special name, and if you've ever gotten underneath a vehicle, like under the dash in a vehicle, any vehicle from like last, I don't know, 30, 35 years, there's this little plug that is usually like next to where the hood release or the trunk release is, depending on the vehicle. And
OBD.
Yes, thank you, OBD reader.
It was gonna bug me otherwise.
Yeah, and so some of them have covers, some of them don't. But like you plug this tool in, and then some of them are just readers, and some of them can actually interact with the computer system and do things like clear codes or give you more detailed information about what the errors are. I've got one of those. I bought one to have here at the house because I'm everybody's dad in the commune. And so I'm the first line of defense to save people money when it comes to repairing their vehicles. And so, I take my OBD scan tool over there and hook it up to the truck. And I forget what the code is, but it's like something to do with like a bad a bad battery, and it causes like a short, and the vehicle, the truck won't run unless you like do an override, and you have to like look up what the code is to do the override, because you run the risk of getting an overvoltage and starting to blow out electrical components in your vehicle. So I mean, it's a safety feature.
Mm-hmm.
But in the time that it took me to like get to that, get the code, look up the code, see if I can reset it or override it in the computer, find out what the fix is, like my dad goes from being like talking to me and getting frustrated to like stomping around like a toddler and throwing a little tantrum. And he goes and gets a mini sledge out of his workshop, which a sledgehammer, I think everybody knows what a sledgehammer is. A mini sledge is one of those that weighs 5-ish pounds, whereas a sledgehammer can weigh anywhere between like 10 and 25 pounds. A mini sledge is designed to be used one-handed, and they weigh about 5 pounds on average. And he goes and gets a mini sledge, and he's about to like start banging the hood on my mom's truck. And
why?
I'm like, stop it. Stop that. You're not going to do anything except just damage the truck and not fix the problem. So it was 45 minutes of fiddling around with the computer and trying to like look up codes online and find like, diagnostic, like here's how you can kind of work around this or fix this. And I mean, the simple solution, the easiest solution is just buy a new battery. There's something wrong with your battery or your alternator. The alternator's not giving off any bad codes. I didn't have my voltage meter, which you can use to kind of get a check on the alternator. That's kind of like the dirty man's, or the poor man's way to check the alternator, because you can see how much current or how much voltage it's putting out. And if it's putting out, too high a voltage or too low a voltage, then you've got a problem with probably got a problem with your alternator. There could be some other things, further testing may be required, but there was nothing that was showing up like the alternator was bad. Just go get a new battery, and then like have a mechanic check it out later if the code comes back up again. And that was that. And it was like really simple, but it just was like, because my dad is a boomer who has the emotional regulation of a toddler, he got big mad and was gonna smash the truck like that was gonna fix it. I don't know what he paid for this truck. My guess is close to too much, close to like $100,000. I've never asked, but like it's a Ram, formerly Dodge, but now Ram is their own separate like entity. And like it is a very nice truck. They still live on a farm. It does have uses outside of just being like too big and using too much gas, but like it's overkill, way overkill. Let's see. The new Rams start at $45,000, but that's for like a basic trim model.
Yeah, and he's not a basic bitch.
I think like looking at the year model, or I think they got the Laramie, which is like way up there. It's like
of course,
it's like the second highest trim level you can get, although it might have been the highest at the time. Sure, build and price for the Laramie. I just want to see what it says. Okay, starting price $61,000. This has got like everything though. I would imagine that this is closer to. And actually, at the time when this was bought, was during the vehicle, like one of the vehicle shortages. Mm-hmm. So vehicles were going for a premium even above that, just because of supply issues due to COVID. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't pay $85,000 or $90,000 for this truck.
Meanwhile, I'm looking at vehicles at like 7,000-8,000, right?
Yeah, to have that much money
and not know what the fuck.
Yeah, like you and I don't know if we've ever really. I can't remember if I've told you how much money I make or not, and like it's not a big deal. I don't talk about it too much because people like do sometimes get weird about it. But I make way better money than I used to. But like I don't make that kind of money. I can't just go drop, nearly 6 figures on something and not think about it. And my parents don't do car payments. They don't do that. They just bought it. I can't do that. One day they'll be dead and I'll get all that money. Unless they piss it all off before then.
I was about to say, you think they're still gonna have money. That's cute.
They're gonna leave a bunch of it to my kid. Like, they don't give a shit about me. It's all about that grandbaby.
Yeah, I'm looking at the used cars around me, and what I'm looking at is like in the sub 8,000 range.
Yeah.
Well, also, I have one hell of a down payment already.
Yeah, I try not to do car shopping very much. Both of our cars, Katie and I's car, both are fine, at least for the moment. I would like to get.
My car is non-existent.
That's true. That's fair. I would like to get a new vehicle, but both of my cars are paid for right now, so I don't have car payments. And even though my car's hood is smashed, and both of our vehicles have got over 150,000 miles each, I take care of them, and then cross my fingers and squeeze my butt cheeks real hard and hope for the best, in terms of accidents and things like that. Mm-hmm. So, if I can make it another year or two without having to buy a car, that would be great.
Yeah, meanwhile, I'm looking at getting one hopefully in the next couple months.
Yeah.
Good luck. Hopefully getting the fuck out of fast food.
Good luck with that also.
Okay, so here's a minor aside from Chicken World.
Okay, story time.
I think I'm getting punished for being one of the few people that actually gets along with everybody at my work.
Oh, shit. I hate when that happens. I will let you tell your story. I won't interrupt after this moment.
No.
But I have been at places where shit like that has happened, and it bothers me so much because the one person that everybody hates is they take it out on you because they have a little bit of power.
No, it's not even that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. There is this. It's not even night shift versus day shift. There's two teams at the store, and I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm going to be upfront about this. I don't know what the fucking beef is with everybody, because I go in, I'll say hello, I'll be friendly with people, and then I do my fucking job. And my fucking job keeps me busy most of the day,
Right.
So I don't have time to socialize. I don't have time to get in with one of the crowds,
Yeah.
Because I'm busy being chicken man in the back and throwing chicken around,
Of course.
As
a good chicken man should.
To the point that my general managers actually praised me for not getting in the middle of all this beef. And whenever I have a problem with somebody, it's because they're not doing their fucking job. It's not because of them as a person. It's because they're not doing their job, and it's making my job worse,
Yeah.
Which is legitimate. So there are essentially two groups that are fighting against one another and bitching and moaning. And the people that can work with both of them are getting tossed around. And okay, so Joe is the big kahuna, but he's still not quite at full power yet. He's still learning and having to take essentially classes because he was never groomed to be able to take over the store if need be, right? Because of course. So we still have somebody over Joe helping out directly with the store, and she's figured out that I don't have any major beef with anybody, so my schedule has not been stable for over 2 months. I've had a different schedule every single fucking week. And I finally found out the main reason because of that is that I could work with both groups and I don't cause drama. I just do my fucking job.
So slightly different than what I was thinking, but...
And it honestly feels like I'm getting punished for it now.
Yeah.
Keep my head down and, do my work.
Yeah. Which is the way to be. The best way to be. My personal feelings on work stuff. It's
and my
be
GMs,
nice.
And my GMs praised me for being one hell of a cook.
Yeah. No,
anyway, you were saying.
My personal feelings on work stuff is be nice to the people that you work with. Do what you can to get along. But don't... People are there to do a job. You do your job, you're polite, You make some polite conversation, and then like you go home. And if you happen to make friends with your coworkers to do stuff outside of work, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But this whole like start drama, like high school, like cliquey, like bullshit that happens at a lot of jobs. And I think it maybe is worse in like corporate office environments, fast food, and retail. I feel like those three are the worst environments for it. But still, like it happens everywhere. It happens at my job. We have 9 people that work in that office. And there are like little cliques that have formed while I've been there. And it's like, come on, people. It shouldn't be that hard.
Mm-hmm. Although, with Sarah, I can't blame them.
Honestly, it's going to sound like I'm defending Sarah, because I'm not. But, like, as far as, like, getting along with people at work goes, as long as things don't drift political, Sarah's fine. She's a little loud, and she can be a little annoying, but it's like, it's fine. I can handle that. Just as long as we don't talk politics or about the gays. We stay away from those two things. Everybody talks about religion in my office and like in general because it's the South and pretty much everybody like praises Jesus and whatnot. So like that is what it is. I made my peace with that a long time ago, But yeah, Sarah's not even the worst in my office, and I feel like that's saying something. But anyways, does that conclude story time?
I think so. I mean, I have a couple food and podcasts I listen to. And one of them has a chef on there, and there's a mentality that I've taken from this service is service.
Yeah.
When things are going bad, tippers are going to flare, but it's not personal. It's people blowing off steam. And sometimes they don't mean to direct it at you. Sometimes they don't. It's it's not you as a person. It's the situation. They're getting shit on. Things are not working out well, and I don't think a lot of them have this mentality when they really need to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because whenever you get hit in any food job, fast food or otherwise, it sucks. And I just try to keep things going,
Yeah.
And I know I probably have cared more about about this job than I probably should because it is just fast food. But at the same time, I get paid for it,
Yeah.
And I'm pretty much there by myself doing this. I don't really have backup. While the people on the line could swap in and out and rest, I'm back there toiling away. And that probably is also part of it, where they have more social interaction. Me, it just me in the back cooking,
Yeah.
And it kind of insulates me from it.
Yeah.
But I'm getting punished because I get along with people. So I get thrown into all the different schedules.
Deal with all
I have a scheduled close open this week, and it sucks.
Yeah. And for anyone listening to this at whatever point in the future who doesn't know, that's when you work close and then work the opening the next morning. And at fast food, that means that you work late.
Yeah, I'm expecting to get out at... I mean, thankfully the store doesn't open that early. But I'm looking at getting out... closes at 10 o'clock. I'm probably going to get out at 11:15 to 11:30. Depending on, just how bad the day is.
Yeah.
And I have to be back there at 9. Which sounds better than what it is, but you also have to remember travel time. I'm going to be just drained, so I'm going to need some time on my heating pad,
Yeah. The latest, I would have to do that occasionally working at Lowe's, close open. And like doing that is not the same as fast food because you don't have the same kind of cleanup and the same kind of like open prep. Like we had cleanup every day, but it's like check the shelves, sweep the floors, done.
Yeah,
but
for me, I'm there an hour before the store opens, and also whenever I'm opening, taking the day shift, I'm usually up with Anita, so I'm up at like 6:30.
Yeah.
So yeah.
When I worked at Lowe's, working a close open meant that I would be there until Depending on the crew, 10:30 or 11 o'clock, and then I'd get home. It took me a half hour to get home, so I would get home at 11 or 11:30, and then I'd have to be there to open the store at 7 a.m. Like the store opened to the public at 8, and we had to be there an hour early. So on those nights, I would just go home, go to sleep, get up, and go back to work. And they had me do that. Not all the time. I said I had to do it a few times. I probably had to do it 3 times a month. Because I was a student at the time. So I was taking like a lot of afternoon classes. And so, come in after class, close the store, go home, go back to my apartment, and then come in before class, open the store, work a few hours, and then go to school. We walked uphill both ways in the snow.
Yeah, part of me...
That's what this feels like to me right now.
Yeah, part of me has this feeling of, maybe I should just go in and punch somebody.
Get arrested. Catch a charge.
No,
get a more stable schedule.
No, makes it so that, I'm not in this weird limbo of not being in any one group. The thing is that both groups kind of suck.
Yeah.
Because one of them is the manager that doesn't really listen to anybody and is forced to cook every so often and makes a fucking mess of it.
Yeah.
And the other group, one of them is just an asshole if he's in a bad mood. Although I've pretty much diffused him by just making him laugh all the time.
Well, that works. Humor often does a good job of that. But yeah. So are you ready to
I guess so.
All right.
Got a little bit of Franken content, right?
There you go. What does Craig say we're at? Let me go back to the right channel. Started 25 minutes ago. Yeah, 25-ish minutes of Franken content. That's like a whole Franken episode right there. Look at us go. I mean, I try to get them to around a half an hour, but I'd take 25 minutes. All right. Do you have Audacity up?
Yes.
Okay. Ready to record in 3, 2, 1. Record. And for the sync, 3,
2,
1. Sync.
Ooh, I think I jumped the gun.
Yeah, I think so, looking at my time. That's okay. Balance it out. Oh, Audacity's got my volume low. Why would you do such a thing, Audacity? There we go. La la la.
That's much worse.
Yay, we did it.
Yeah. Boy, this is a late end, huh?
Yep.
Didn't think we were going to talk about that game for so long.
Well, I guess we had more to say than we thought.
Yeah.
Maybe mostly me. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was more meh. And wait, you died of a heart attack. How do you fake that? I just got so hung up on that. There's sometimes details I get hung up on, like that one retro arcade game where you were in a laundromat.
Yeah,
I got so hung up on why the fuck am I doing other people's laundry if I'm running a laundromat?
Yeah.
Sometimes I get fixated on it. So yeah,
I'm now looking at how to do people fake heart attacks? Do people fake their own death with heart attack? I'm not getting anywhere with my Google search so far.
I see if they had them eaten by a bear,
Yeah,
that would have been had some good trauma. Maybe have August. She had a little stuffed bear that she really loved that suddenly becomes it's a big bad bear. But no, heart attack. Not want to go back and rewrite the story. He faked his death by pretending to be mauled by a bear, and maybe they find a torn up article of clothing in bear country, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't think Michigan has many bears, but it makes as much sense, right?
I feel like Michigan has a lot of bears. They've got a lot of country, I don't know, maybe not. So my Googling keeps turning up this news article about a man who was arrested for faking heart attacks at 20 different restaurants to get free food.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
It does look like Michigan has bears, but it's black bears. Oh my god. Oh, okay. I gotta share this. I found my spirit animal.
Ooh, that's a better way to say it. Heart attack. All right, now to go look at what you just sent me.
I know that's not what he meant, but that first picture.
Dude, I feel that. Just being a big, fat, furry thing, just chilling out.
Try to stay cool in the heat.
Yeah.
It's like the Upper Peninsula has more bears, though. So, well, if they drove to Canada, they had to be in the Upper Peninsula, right? Without
Yeah.
a massive road trip. Oh, I should say more than like what was it, 2 days? Okay. Well, we need to contact the developers. He didn't die of a heart attack. He got eaten by a bear. Go. Although, depending on the context of things, eaten by a bear may actually work.
Yeah.
Ran off with a big bear of a different variety, and we're going down a rabbit hole again. So bye bye.
Yeah. Bye bye. I'm now looking up death hoaxes, though, which is certainly a rabbit hole